Good morning. I had a different show planned for today, but because of what's going on in our nation right now, and since I am political Paula and all, I thought maybe I should just talk a little bit about the farce going on in our nation's capital right now, the impeachment thing with Trump. But I'm also going to bring it around a little bit to what's going on in my own family. So I hope that my family members will watch this show, even if they have more important things to worry about than politics, because this is not just a political show. The show that I had planned for today will air next week, and my smoking friends will enjoy that one. I promised my smoking groups that I'm in, Smokers Against Discrimination and such, that they will get two shows about things affecting us, and you will get them just a little late. So, impeachment. Okay, here's the problem. I follow the law a lot. I watch the Law and Orders. I watch Real ID. I read true crime novels. And what I hear all the time from prosecutors is that they have to tell victims' families, we can't prosecute a case that we can't win. That's what prosecutors want to do. And yet, the Democrats in the House have decided that they are going to bring a case before Congress that they know they're not going to win. And here's why. In order to impeach a president and win, which means he's convicted and removed from office, you need a lot of people in his own party to jump ship. Kind of like rat him out or flip. Well, the Republicans aren't going to do that with this president. They're just not. The Democrats know this, and they knew it before they brought the articles of impeachment to the House. In order for impeachment to win, the Democrats to win on this, they need 20 Republican senators to vote against their boy, Donald Trump. Now look, I'm no fan of Trump, but here's the problem. What they are accusing Trump of, they all do it. If you don't think most of our politicians operate on a quid pro quo basis, well, you haven't been listening. You haven't been listening to my show. You haven't been listening to what goes on. Look at the lobbyists, the pharmaceutical lobbyists. Why do you think that my little cousin, Nicole, has to go and do fundraisers and fret not only about the fact that she's fighting for her life to beat stage 3 breast cancer, but that she and her husband could lose everything they've worked for because the drugs she needs to save her life are outrageously overpriced. And insurance won't cover all of them. Not 100%. And Nicole is like millions of other Americans. You know, you're doing great unless you get sick. And yet, what's our Congress doing right now? Are they fighting to give American adult citizens like Nicole good health care? Health care where you worry about living more than you worry about, oh my God, what if I live and I lose my house? No, they're trying to undo the 2016 election. You know what, guys? I didn't like the results of the 2016 election. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. But this is just as much bullshit as trying to impeach President Bill Clinton for cheating on his wife and lying about it. Because guess what, folks? When a husband cheats on his wife, he lies about it. It's kind of the way it works. It's certainly not a reason to get fired from your job, considering the fact that there were Republican men who also were found out to have cheated on their wives. And yes, believe it or not, they didn't just come out and go, oh yeah, I fucked another woman. I got a blowjob. Yeah, no. Men don't do that. That's just the norm. So, but most people don't get fired for that. And that's why Bill Clinton's impeachment went nowhere. And the problem with President Trump's impeachment is that he probably did something wrong, but he didn't do anything that everybody else doesn't do. Let's talk about the Patriots right now, the football team. They have been caught cheating like 20 different times now, and yet they still have all these Super Bowl championships. They haven't been stripped of their right to play in the NFL, and yet they constantly are cheating. We know politicians take money from certain industries, like the pharmaceutical industries, like the health insurance industries, to make sure that American citizens don't get the health care they need. Let's talk about this whole brouhaha, how this all started. So it all deals with financial aid from the America to Ukraine, a foreign country, right? Well, guess what I found out this week? And this is the real, this is making my blood boil, my husband's blood boil, because I didn't know this. Maybe some of you did. So America gives foreign aid, money to foreign countries. A lot of money, by the way, billions of dollars. But guess where they get that money from? We borrowed that money for Ukraine from China. China, right? Our country is indebted to China, a communist country, by the way, so we could give financial aid to Ukraine. Now, here's the question that Political Poll is going to ask. Why should we give a fuck about Ukraine? And why should we put Ukraine citizens before American citizens, like my cousin Nicole? Like all the millions of American adults right now, hardworking adults, who are fighting for their lives with serious illnesses, and they can't afford to live. They can't afford their medications. They can't afford the treatments that they need to live. And we're giving money to Ukraine. We care more about their citizens than our own. I think that's something we should be talking about. Instead of, did President Trump go, well, we got a lot of money for you, Mr. Ukrainian dude, but you got to do me a favor first. Everybody does favors in Washington. That's why our government doesn't work anymore for people like us. See, I'm kind of I'm an ethical person. Nobody bribes me. And believe me, people have tried. People have threatened me. You take your show off the air. You take this show off the air. Or we're going to do this, this, and that. And I say, fuck you. Nobody tells me what to do. I don't do quid pro quo. But people in Washington are politicians. That's how they operate. So the fact that Donald Trump said, well, yeah, we got some money for you, but if you want it, you got to do me a favor. That's not new. Just like when President Clinton cheated on his wife, and when he was asked about it under oath, he kind of said, oh, no, I didn't cheat on my wife. I did not let that woman suck my dick, that Miss Lewinsky. Oh, no, 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 no. Hillary's watching, and she can be mean. Of course he's going to lie. Ask any man, did you cheat on your wife? He's going to say, oh, no, 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 no. Then a dress shows up, and it's like, oh, shit. All right. But again, it's not worth impeaching the president. It's not worth taking up all this airspace. People haven't seen their regular daytime programming in weeks because Nancy Pelosi and her tribe are out there fighting a case they know they're not going to win. And that right there is the problem. All they're trying to do right now is embarrass President Trump and make some people think blah, blah, blah. Here's the problem. President Trump is not Hillary Clinton. See, it worked with Hillary Clinton. Just the idea that Hillary Clinton in 2016 could be investigated for the email crap and the Benghazi crap, it stopped people from voting for her. Because a lot of people were kind of holding their nose and voting for Hillary. because they were afraid of Trump, or they weren't Republican. They wanted to stick with their party. Party. We're Democrats. We vote Democrat. But when all this stuff with Hillary started coming out, and she was never investigated officially, she was never charged. She's out there free. She's not in jail. She will never be charged. But they kept saying she was being investigated from everything from murder to sex trafficking to treason for the email thing, and then Benghazi for getting people killed. And people got scared and voted for Trump. Well, the problem is people who voted for Trump are going to vote for him again. Because most of the people who did vote for Trump, and some who didn't, have found that our lives are just a little bit better now. We no longer pay a penalty in this country for not having health insurance because of Donald Trump. Our taxes are lower. Even though we are child-free adults, our taxes are lower since Donald Trump. And we appreciate that kind of stuff. When our pocketbook is a little fuller, see, with Obama, our pocketbook got less because, of course, Obamacare ended up charging us more for health insurance that we could never use because the deductibles were so outrageous. So when Trump came in and said, okay, we're not going to make you use Obamacare anymore. If you don't want to use Obamacare and you don't have insurance, that's fine. No more penalties. So good for that. Now my husband and I are blessed. We do have good health insurance because he works for a corporation. And that's another bad word for Democrats. They take corporate donations, but they don't like anybody who is successful and wealthy. They have to punish us. If you are successful, then they think that you have money to spare, unless you get sick. For some reason, the Democrats believe that wealth is a bad word, unless it's your wealth that's giving to their campaigns. Then you're good people. They love you then. Corporations in this country are the reason why some people, like my husband and I, actually have health insurance again. I didn't have health insurance for 2 years when we were self-employed because I wasn't going to pay $800 a month with a $7,500 a year deductible when I don't even go to the doctor for anything. That was bullshit. Now my husband works for a wonderful business, a corporation, and his benefits are astronomically fantastic. So we thank the corporation. We don't hate the corporation. My husband makes a good salary and he has good benefits. We both do. So the Democrats who want to punish people, especially self-employed people are screwed by Obamacare. You are screwed. And the Democrats did that. That's why I'm not a Democrat anymore. Not sure I'm a Republican either, but we're going to see. So this is the problem with this whole impeachment brouhaha. The fact that we borrow money from a nation that we disagree with on just about everything, China, to give money to Ukraine, which again, why do we care? While our American adult citizens are not getting the health care that they should be getting. I'm not going to use entitled because they've paid in. They've paid insurance premiums. They have worked full time. They have paid their taxes. And now that they are ill, like my cousin Nicole, now they have to turn to the generosity of their fellow citizens, which, thank God, there are a lot of good, generous people out there. But really? We're giving money to Ukraine and other countries as well. We're borrowing money to give that money to foreign countries from a country that we say we disagree with on just about everything they do. They don't like girl babies. They are communist, but we'll take their money to give it to Ukraine. And then we have American citizens who not only have to worry about battling stage 3 cancer, but also about losing everything they worked for in order to survive stage 3 cancer. I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. I do. I have a problem with the fact that the interest on those loans, and why is China loaning us money? Well, because now I guess China can call in some favors. Who knows? Who knows how it really works? I never knew we borrowed money to give it away to non-American citizens. I didn't know that our country, which is supposed to be the richest and grandest and most powerful in the world, needed to borrow money. I wish they would have borrowed the money to give every American adult citizen quality and affordable health care, so that when we get sick, all we have to worry about is surviving, getting well, instead of worrying about losing our homes, not being able to afford food because we have to buy medications and pay the pharmaceutical companies so they get rich while we lose everything. So think about this. For those of you who think this impeachment thing was a good idea, it was a really bad idea. Huge waste of time. And again, I would think that our Congress would have better things to be doing right now. Every day you turn on the TV, there's a mass shooting. There was just another one on Tuesday. Took up the news all day, except when they were talking impeachment. You would think Nancy Pelosi and her group of impeachment warriors would realize they are prosecuting a case that they cannot win just by the numbers. All you got to do is look at the numbers. The Senate is controlled by the Republicans, and the Republican lives in the White House. So therefore, you're not getting President Trump out of office. And you know what? From what I've heard, talking to other voters and how they're going to vote in 2020, haven't cost Donald Trump any votes either. People who are for Trump, they're not moving. They're going to vote for Trump again. Hell, I might even vote for him. That's going to be a secret. Who I vote for is going to be my business in 2020. I'm not going to necessarily broadcast it. But I know one thing, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden. And not just because of this possibility that he actually is a crook when he was vice president and there was a conflict of interest. Because, see, that's the other thing. What if he really is guilty of conflict of interest? And what if his son working for this Russian thing, whatever he did, what if that was dangerous to our country? Maybe we should be thanking President Trump for uncovering it, because don't we want to know if someone running for the highest office is a crook? I mean, we already know Trump's problems. He can shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue and still get elected president. He's cheated on his wives. We know all that. And he got voted for anyway. But if Joe Biden really did put our country at risk because his son worked for a foreign government and got lots and lots of money for it, 25 years old, making millions of dollars a month, that's kind of weird. Don't know which college he graduated for, but I'd like to attend. I think we should know. And my problem with the Democrats is long and wide right now. But I think at the end of the day, this impeachment is going nowhere. It's a huge waste of everybody's time. I hate it when people waste my time. And I hate it even more when they waste my money. And the Democrats are doing that. And our government is doing it. Borrowing money from China to give it to the Ukraine. It's kind of like musical chairs, or this weird game of who's on first. If you're going to borrow some money from China, how about send a little my cousin Nicole's way? Or all the other people I know who are battling cancer right now, and the medical bills are causing them more stress than their cancer is. Maybe we should think about doing that, since we are so quick to borrow money from countries that we claim are our enemies. I guess the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't know how that works out, but it's something we all need to think about, and I'd really like to hear your comments. So let's discuss. Nicole, I love you very much. You could kick some ass, girl. Nicole is starting her chemo this week. and she's going to kick cancer's ass. And because of the generosity of friends, family, and people she's never met, she's not going to lose her house. She's not going to lose everything she worked for, because we won't let that happen. It's very sad that the United States government, of which we are all citizens, American citizens, it's a shame the United States government is willing to let that happen to any American citizen. Political Paula is out.